Benjamin, who is actually with us. You have heard this news, the Sudanese parliament declaring South Sudan as an enemy state. What is the stand of South Sudan towards this?
Well, this is a very unfortunate decision. To us, it is not a surprise. We all know what the Republic of Sudan has been doing. For the last months, they have been bombing the Republic of South Sudan. They have been attacking us on the ground. And they had declared an open war. You declare a war on an enemy. What has remained really is the formalization of the declaration like they have done now in Parliament. But Parliament, this is a decision done by very few hawks, very few extremists within the National Congress Party that dominate that Parliament. So for us, the government, the leadership, the government, and the people of the Republic of South Sudan, we consider the Sudanese as a whole as one people with us. We will never consider them our enemies. There are a lot of connections. There are social connections, cultural connections. And on top of this, we have one of the longest borders on earth, 2,100 kilometers, where we allow the people from the Republic of Sudan, the Messeria, the Rezegad, you are talking about 2 million people with their 4 million animals entering our territory. And they drink our water free. They graze their animals free for 6 months. Can this be done by an enemy? No visas asked, no identification asked. For us, I think the National Assembly in Khartoum, since 1956, during independence, I think majority, this small group, have never learned anything about a democratic system of government. We know this is a decision of the few. We will continue to consider the people of the Sudan as our brothers and sisters. We will cooperate in many areas. Yes, the crisis we are in, we will resolve it peacefully. We are now at the African Union High Implementation Panel, asking that we can still resolve all these issues amicably and peacefully. So in fact, the most surprising thing is that we have become #1 enemy of the Republic of Sudan, according to them, and Israel has become #2. So now they say they have 2 enemies. #1 is the Republic of South Sudan, and #2 is Israel. Really, I think it is a very immature decision. But we know the majority of the Sudanese people will not agree with this, and we will continue to foster good relations with the rest of the people of the Republic of Sudan.
But does this decision worry the people of South Sudan?
Well, it doesn't worry us at all, because they have declared war on us. You don't declare war on a friend. You declare war on an enemy. As they considered us their enemy, all they did is formalize it and announce it in their parliament. But that parliament, we are sure there is a large number of them which will not agree with that decision. But the small group within the National Congress Party who are extremists have come up with this. But all indications, up to now, they are Sudanese, we are South Sudanese. There is still a connection. I think it is fantasy, and we will still stand our position. We will protect our country, and we'll go ahead negotiating with them so that we resolve the issues which are outstanding.
And that Sudanese parliament also said Khartoum must remove the present SPLM-led government from power and install a puppet regime in Juba. What does this mean?
To us, it is not. That's what they have been doing since 2005. They have been sponsoring militia to destabilize the South. They have tried to invade the South militarily. They are now, while we speak, bombarding all the areas in unity states and various areas of Warab state, the areas of Upper Nile state. So for them, they have been working to change a government in the Republic of South Sudan. What they had done today is actually to expose the real feeling that they needed to change the government. This is an elected democratic government by the people of the Republic of South Sudan. What I would like to share with this parliament that says that they will make a regime change here, we have got a democratic system of government. This government was elected by the people of the Republic of South Sudan. There is nobody on earth that can change this government. It is the people of the Republic of South Sudan, through democratic elections, that can elect their leaders. We have a constitution that actually empowers our citizens to elect their leaders and have the freedom to reject them. It is not for the Islamic fundamentalists in Khartoum. It's not for the National Congress Party to come and decide and choose a government of their choice. In fact, they are behaving like the Saddam Hussein Iraq, who actually invaded Kuwait and wanted to annex Kuwait. If they think South Sudan is Kuwait, I don't think it is Kuwait. This is the Republic of South Sudan, where its citizens have fought for years. It is now since 192 years we have been actually dominated, ravaged, and invaded by foreigners. And our people have stood the ground. I'm sure if there is going to be a change of government here, it is not by the regime in Khartoum.
Some voices in Juba, in the streets of Juba, said Khartoum is speaking hard, and the government in Juba is brushing those hard words from Khartoum aside. What do you say? You see,
they sometimes that there were people who were running in a relay, and one of those people was actually mad. So you run 100 meters, you pass it to somebody. Now along the line, it was passed to this person, and he took the relay and ran to the mountains instead of finishing up the relay. Our position is clear. We have political differences with the Republic of Sudan, and we believe these outstanding issues, comprehensive peace agreement, they have pegged their signatories on that, and that we had to implement them. We know where the right is, and we will insist through the African Union High Implementation Panel to discuss these issues and resolve them peacefully. If for them, they have declared their war, they have declared us an enemy state, of course there is also an element of some few people who are racist in this process. That's why they have been killing millions of our people. We have reconciled, we have forgiven. In Anyanya 1, they killed nearly 1 million. Now, during the struggle of the SPLA, we lost nearly 2 million of our people. And in the state, we have been giving gestures. I think this is a civilized way of doing things. And the Republic of South Sudan believes in constitutional changes. It believes in a democratic government. And for us, it will take time for the present National Congress Party to learn that democracy is a different ball game altogether. So we are not being soft. We are being fair to the people of Sudan as much as to our own people, because we believe we have a border, we need to cooperate, we need to do our trade, we need to resolve differences through a peaceful dialogue. This is what we are for. But if somebody tries to attack us, invade our country, take our resources by force, bomb our children and women, like what they have been doing, all they have been doing is killing civilians. Now, what would you say? Definitely we must defend our territory. We must defend the territorial integrity of our country. We must defend the lives of our citizens. And that's what we will be doing. Of course, as you know, even yesterday, they bombed the UNMISS camp in Mayom. UNMISS here is supposed to defend civilians. I hope they have received a part of this hostility and aggressive propaganda, which is a war-mongering attitude which is coming from Khartoum. But we know the people of the Republic of Sudan are still people who will have long relationships. Like they say in the Bible, you don't choose your friends, but you don't choose your neighbor, but you can choose your friends.
Let's talk about the 14 prisoners who were captured by the SPLA. What will be their fate? And when you hear the governor of Southern Kordofan, Mohamed Haroun, when he was instructing the Sudan Armed Forces, he said, go, kill, sweep, don't bring one. Don't even bring one. What will happen to these 14 prisoners captured by the SPLA?
Well, you know, during the long years of struggle by the SPLA, SPLM, the SPLA leadership, led Chairman Dr. John Garang, our present President Salva Kiir Mayardit, they used to tell our troops that the concept of war is to disarm your enemy. Once you have disarmed your enemy, you don't have to kill him anymore. It is because we believe in international humanitarian law. And humanitarian law is that during war, if a soldier has surrendered or is captured, then you should look after him well. This is a civilized way of doing things. And I think the people of the Republic of South Sudan should be happy today to show this type that we carried forward since our liberation days, and now we are a government, a member of the United Nations, a member of the African Union. We believe that there is an international humanitarian law in how you treat prisoners of war. And that's what our president has done today. Our president has actually, in his conversation with the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Egypt, and when the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Egypt actually asked if these prisoners can be released to their parents, our president told him point blank that we have been doing that since liberation days. You remember, the SPLA released 3,000 prisoners during the struggle. Not now when we are a civilized government. Definitely we know these people were actually pushed. They were obeying orders of their leaders, a leadership that is extremist, a leadership that is killing. And that's why our president said they will definitely release these prisoners in cooperation. Our Minister of Foreign Affairs with the Red Cross, together with the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Egypt, will enhance this process, and these prisoners will be released. We are trying to send a message to Khartoum. You know, there is a civilized way of doing things. And if you ask Khartoum whether they have released one single prisoner of war to the Republic of South Sudan or to the SPLM, SPLA during the war, it is none. They always kill our prisoners. But we want to teach them another lesson. We teach them democracy, that you can change regimes through democratic processes. You cannot go and change the regime of another country, two sovereign states. Saddam Hussein tried it on Kuwait, but where is he today? South Sudan is not Kuwait. If there are students of Saddam Hussein within the National Congress Party, there is still a good number of people among them. They should advise them that these decisions being done by Khartoum are wrong decisions. They don't augur well for people who will be neighbors until thy kingdom come.
Finally, there were bombardment in the oil installation in Pantho today, and many of the installations seems to have been destroyed by this Sudan Air Force. Why do you think all this is happening, destroying the oil proper things?
Well, it shows the aggressive attitude. Here is a country that has declared war, a country that does not know its own interests. We know these oil fields. They are needed by us. They are needed by them. We were going to share this oil together. They are now in economic problems. They would need this oil, even if it is from South Sudan, if we enhance good cooperation. But here they are, people driven by hate. They simply hate the people of the Republic of South Sudan because they are South Sudanese. And it is not by all Sudanese. We know there is a large number of Sudanese who are happy to continue relationship with the people of the Republic of South Sudan. I'm sure the destruction of the oil wells that they are doing does not actually show any maturity. We have said we need the viability of two states, the Republic of South Sudan and the Republic of Sudan. And we were willing to share a part of this money in order to help them to strengthen their economy, resolve our issues. But what do you get? Aggression, air bombardment, declaration of being the first enemy of the Sudan, trying to make a regime. They have been accusing us that we wanted to make a regime change in the Republic of Sudan. Today, they have announced it in their parliament. What they were saying, actually, they were working for the change of government in the Republic of South Sudan. But I can assure you, it is only our people, the people of the Republic of South Sudan, who are democratic, that can only change their government.
Dr. Barnaba Marial Benjamin, thank you very much. I'm afraid we have to leave it there. And to continue, we are bulletin senior officials from the Ministry of